Welcome to the Chef's Pantry. I'm Anna Rossi, and are you guys ready to get your glow on? Well, I hope so, because today's menu is packed with delicious, fresh ingredients, starting with Little Leaf. If you know me, you know I love Little Leaf, and if you've had Little Leaf, you understand why. You guys, they're local. They're based in central Massachusetts, and they have an incredible 10-acre greenhouse that consistently grows perfect baby lettuce delivered to our grocery stores just for us. And you know, as a New Englander, that's amazing because with our crazy climate, hot, dry summers, freezing, wild, wacky winters, you get a consistent, beautiful produce product any day of the year, and it's delicious. And guess what? Have you noticed this new lavender color? Well, they sent these to me to get a play with just as they're hitting the grocery store shelves now, and I've been a big fan of their crispy greens, their red and green blend, their spring mix, and now they have this sweet butter leaf lettuce that is not only beautiful but also delicious. I love butter leaf. I love buying it when I see it at the market. Usually I do get it hydroponically grown, or sometimes at the CSA farm share pickup, but it's very delicate. It does really well with light vinaigrettes, and it's also flexible. So you guys, today we're going to play into the flexibility of this beautiful butter leaf lettuce and roll up some Vietnamese spring rolls, and then play around with a really delicious lettuce wrap. How fun is this? Okay, so I love the monarchs. The little honeybees are flying around. Let's get right into some really delicious sauces. So my family absolutely loves when we do spring roll night as a family. And I think with kids, it's really great because you can bring a lot of variety, like I've started to lay out here, to the table. And it's like an arts and crafts project that's packed with protein, vitamins, nutrients, and a ton of color. But the thing that I really think makes those little rolls come to life are some really great sauces. So we're gonna make two to add to the board. A delicious peanut sauce with some coconut milk, and then a Nuoc Chum that's a traditional Vietnamese vinaigrette that has a fish sauce base. It's sweet, it's got a big umami flavor, it's very light, and it's fantastic. So let's start with our blender and a really good peanut sauce. So I have coconut milk as the base, a really nice, simple, clean peanut butter, some fish sauce, which is basically anchovy, salt, and sugar. It's got huge umami flavor, nice salinity, and it's like a secret weapon when you're building something out that has some big complexity to it. Some maple syrup for sweetness, lime juice to just like round everything out, and garlic. And then of course, like, I don't know how hot you like things, but we're gonna build in just a little bit of sriracha here. So the whole can of coconut milk can just go on in. I love getting the full fat coconut milk. You want something that has a great silkiness. That lime juice will help cut some of that fat feel that you get from the coconut milk, as well as the peanut butter. And then if you're looking for something that's nut-free, doing a seed butter is a great option. And you know who inspired me for this sauce is my friends at Mother Juice. Laura Baldini cooked with me a couple years ago in the Chef's Pantry. And this is something that she brought to the table that I just absolutely loved. Oh, that rich maple syrup flavor too. Like, you could play around with the brown sugar, you could use an agave sweetener, but I think as a New Englander, having something that has that robust fall feel to it. Oh, this sriracha has been leaping out of the bottle every step of the way this week. I used it in a little oyster minuet a little bit ago, and it did the exact same thing. So we got it about 1/3 of a cup in there, and then let's blend it, baby. This is just going to smooth out beautifully. Crank it up. See, that looks, I love it. Ooh, and then you take that thick, rich peanut butter, and look, it just becomes so dippable. Here we have a little bowl. Let's go ahead and taste it first, please. This is a great opportunity to add a little more heat, a little more sweetness, a little more lime juice before you go and get it table ready. But that my friends, is what I love. I love a good, rich, thick peanut sauce. And then that little like boom of coconut milk. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, we'll slide this over and let it wait in queue. And then let's bring in the Nook Chum ingredients. Okay, so this one is a balance of the fish sauce thinned out with a little bit of water. I have some lime juice, a little rice wine vinegar, and then some heat. I have a little sambal auluk and then some Thai chili pepper and a little bit of garlic. But it's this really nice blend of like a little bit of texture kind of floating around with a nice light sort of soppable sort of consistency. And again, do this to taste. Oh, and I'm also going to sweeten it. You could bring a little granulated sugar in and dissolve that on low temperature for your sweetness, but I'm gonna just, again, play around with the maple syrup sort of notes here and take advantage of these natural sweeteners that we have. Give that a little whisk, bring in the acidity with the lime juice. Red wine or rice wine vinegar is difficult to find, and if you have difficulty getting it, I think Amazon's actually a good spot to locate it. Go ahead and just add a little extra lime juice in place of that. It'll give you a nice kind of thing, because in both cases you're going for that acidic punch. And then let's go ahead and add those little bits of carrot that are gonna be really fun to try to scoop up with the spring roll when we go to serve it, and then just a little bit of this chili paste. Man, that has some heat to it. And with these Thai chilies sliced into rings, I'm really just using that almost like a garnish too. Like, honestly, with the kids at the table, we're not going for anything to really blow the top of our heads off. Wow, oh, that's so good. Like if you've been to Pho Viet, one of these great Vietnamese houses, and then you get those fresh spring rolls brought to the table with the barbecued pork inside. This is the sauce that just is like the perfect pairing. Okay, so, and it has some heat. I did get a little bit of heat in there. We'll go ahead and pour that out. And then when we come back, I'm gonna show you all the great, delicious goodies that I brought to the board, as well as a fun way to bring color to the vermicelli noodles and a foolproof way, I promise, to roll up these delicious spring rolls. Don't go away. This is gonna be absolutely delicious. I'll see you in a sec. Welcome back to the Chef's Pantry. You guys were eating our greens today thanks to Little Leaf. Look at this beautiful, sweet butterleaf lettuce that we're playing with today. So we're whipping up and rolling some delicious Vietnamese fresh spring rolls with some really tasty dipping sauces. And then I have a really great lettuce wrap planned for us. But this is so fun. You guys, today in the Chef's Pantry, we're really getting a first taste on this new variety that Little Leaf is bringing to markets near us. It's their Sweet Baby Butterleaf. You know, I'm a huge fan of what Little Leaf does. They have this incredible 10-acre greenhouse in Devens, Massachusetts. And why that's so amazing is that everything that they do is sustainable, it's chemical and pesticide free, bringing us consistent, high quality, delicious lettuce that is absolutely fantastic. We're so lucky to have them local, because where our food is grown matters. Most of the fresh produce we get, especially in the dead of winter, has been trucked across the country from California. So that means that it's had a week or two, sometimes just sitting before it arrives at our house. Every penny that we spend matters so much now when we go to the grocery store. So when you buy a product that's grown locally, it's gonna last that much longer in your refrigerator. And it's just delicious too. So this is fun. I love how limbo and flexible this sweet Butterleaf is, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic while we start to roll up these vermicelli spring rolls. Okay, so let's have some fun. Okay, so one of the key things you need when you go to the market is pick up rice paper. The great thing about this dish, today it's actually vegetarian, but it's also gluten-free. So you could pack this with whatever you want, but this is so fun to work with. So today I went for the 8-inch because with the kids too, like you want to economize all the creativity, pack as much in as you can, but then they also have like a 6-inch size that's also really nice to play around with. You also would like, in my opinion, some rice noodles. So this is the vermicelli rice noodle, and all you have to do is steep it in some really hot water and it gets super flexible. But in this house, we love having lots of color. So you know what I've done here is bring in a little bit of raw beetroot powder for a little pop of reddish purple, and in a separate batch, a little bit of ground turmeric. Not to mention, you get all this great antioxidant health benefits and vitamins there. So look what we did with this clear rice noodle. It became this like gorgeous carrot red with the turmeric, and then this really pretty purple with the beetroot powder. And the board we built is all about color. So put on the board what you like. Here I have some shredded beet, some shaved radish. I love that purple and pink color. Some shredded carrot, some thinly sliced yellow pepper, a little bit of mango for sweetness, even some kiwi. Like, think about things that are beautiful and textural. Some firm tofu, some thinly sliced cucumber, some avocado, a little bit of heat. And then I just I love like pulling in like those little details that I have from the garden too that can be used for garnish. So here I have some hyssop blossom, as well as like the last couple nasturtiums with their leaves that have been lingering on my bushes, and some mint and parsley. So it's visual, it's textural, it's really packed with flavor, and it's a lot of fun to make. Okay, but it can be frustrating if you don't know a couple of simple tips and tricks. So here's what we do to keep the vermicelli paper from like getting all tangled and folded in on itself. I take a paper towel, I run it under cold water, wring it out a little bit, and then I put that down on a plate. Sometimes if you're doing this family style, it's nice to have like a separate plate just for rolling things out. And then you want a hot bowl of water that has a low rim to it. So it'll make running your vermicelli paper really easy to get through. So I brought this to a boil, and then it's had a little time to sit. But let's see, now that the pressure's on, if we can bring it to the table. Okay, so let's run this through. It's almost like, as the Italian chef in me would say, till it's al dente. I don't need it to be totally soft and loose, but I want to be able to bend it without it cracking. Okay, if you get it too loose, too soft, it's going to start to stick to itself, and then you're gonna get mad and sad. Okay, and then let's make it pretty. You know what I wanna do? I wanna put a little blossom right on the front of it. What you lay down first is what you're going to see first. So, and then let's bring in the lettuce. So this butter leaf is so perfect. I love how it folds nicely. It's very delicate. It has that lacy texture to it. Really beautiful way to like pack in a lot of greens and have it form to the shape that we want here. And how about one more little curly leaf? So great. And then let's bring in some of the vermicelli. Okay, oh, look at that color. Isn't that brilliant? It's like sun gold, magnificent. And then if my daughter Charlotte was doing this with us, she'd put all the colors in too, and I think that's like a great thing for the family too. The more color, the better. And the nice thing about like this beetroot powder and the turmeric is that it really has a very mild flavor to it. So you're still steering the ship like with these great sauces and the vegetables. And then let's just load it up. We've got some pepper, a little tofu, some cucumber. One thing I like not only is thinking about like that mouthfeel of the texture of these ingredients, but slicing them thin enough so that they'll roll and fold easily. They'll head in the direction that I want them to go. And let's do a little bit of beet. And then the test. Let's see if we can get it together without anybody crying or getting mad. Okay, fold in the side just like you would a burrito. And then I'm gonna lay over, I'm gonna lay over the top and kind of tuck as you go. Tuck it, fold in the side, and then now's your chance to sort of get like that tight roll on it. Wow, yummy! Oh my gosh, doesn't it taste better when it's beautiful? She's so pretty. Wow. Cheers to edible flowers. Okay, so this could go straight in your mouth, or if you have a little bit of patience, you could build out a little platter and really go crazy with it. This has had time to sit though, and as the vermicelli paper starts to dry, it starts to get a little bit brittle. So I would say if you're doing a little prep in advance, lay a damp paper towel on top. But this, I say, is totally table ready. Yum. Okay, when we come back, I've got one more tasty little treat for you. We're gonna do a really simple, light, bright, vegetarian lettuce wrap that's just gonna tie this up with a bow. I'll see you in a sec. Chickpea time! Welcome back to the Chef's Pantry. You guys, this is beautiful and delicious today. So we have this rainbow board laid out, and just while we went on break, I laid some damp paper towel on top of these gorgeous, freshly rolled spring rolls. This will help keep the rice paper from drying out because it's dying to dry out. And so it's like really perfect when it comes to the table and we go for dipping sauces. But now we're gonna make some lettuce wraps. So I have some chickpeas or garbanzo beans that I bought canned. Opened the can, ran it through the strainer, rinsed it well under cold water, and now I'm just going to dry them out. This is going to be my protein and structure for the filling of these delicious lettuce wraps. And then I'm just going to roll it around and let it wick on a double-lined layer of paper towel. This is going to go into the oven at around 400 degrees for about 15 minutes until we get some nice texture and caramelization starting to form on the outside. So the more water we can wick out can let the oven heat really do its job of creating texture so it's not just steaming in there. And then let me show you what I have for flavors here. So on these, we're going to make a delicious roasted crispy harissa sort of vinaigrette that we're going to put on here with some extra virgin olive oil, a little salt, some lime, some garlic, and a little bit of the roast harissa that I love from Curio Spice. But you know what also would be really tasty if you want to keep these out of the oven and just serve them chilled is pesto. It's a great way to add some really big flavor to something that's mild but has some really nice texture to it. So on my little quarter baking sheet, I'm going to give probably about 3 tablespoons worth of the extra virgin olive oil on there, and then just eyeball it. Create some great flavors just by looking at how the things come together visually. The lime zest has a really nice floral citrus note that's going to balance out some of the heat that we're going to bring in with the harissa, which is this really great African spice blend that I love in so many different ways, especially on roasted vegetables and beans. And then the garlic. I mean, when in doubt, add garlic, right? So giving that a little grate on a little fine microplaner is really nice. And then again, this has a little bit of heat with some chili flake to it, but it also has some complexity with cumin, coriander, some caraway, and then this one has the addition of rose petal in it, so it has this really pretty floral hint to add to a lot of complexity. And then here we're just going to mix it up. Give it a little blend, make sure everything is talking, happy to be next to each other. This would also be super fun to do in the air fryer if you really want that pop. And then these would be so great stored in an airtight container as like a little healthy snack or a topping for really any type of salad. Okay, in the oven they go. When they come out, they're gonna look like this. Can you hear that? All of a sudden the texture has changed. They've almost like blistered and sort of burst open a little bit. And they're so tasty. Didn't go too heavy on the heat. It's just that really nice nuance that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so this is gonna be the topping, but now let's create a couple other things. We want a little base for our lettuce wraps and a little bit of a dressing. So for the base, I'm playing around with some of the vegetables that I brought in for the vermicelli wraps and just change the texture a little bit. So I have some of the grated carrot and grated beet, but instead of the shaved radish, I went ahead and shredded the radish. And I love how the radish actually just really brings in like that pepperiness to the sweetness that you have with the carrot and the rootiness and crazy cool color that you get from the beet. And then the dressing on this is going to be really simple because this is going to be like that veggie, like fresh, chilled, packed substance down on the bottom that's going to give this like a sense of structure, but we're going to really create the flavor with a tahini dressing. So lemon juice, again, some really good extra virgin olive oil. If you want, you could segment an orange and put that in there, give it a little bit of salt and pepper, and then this can sit, make a head in your refrigerator until you're ready to serve. So a couple little pinches of that salt, and look at all that great color. The beet is going to soak in the longer that this has to sit, and so everything is going to become a really determined purple by the end if this has like a day or so in the refrigerator, but I'm into that. I love that wild orange color in there too. So this will be our base. And now let's create a delicious tahini dressing. So tahini is great. It's just pureed sesame seed, and it has this really rich flavor and a silkiness to it. But today we're going to create a little depth and complexity by bringing in a little bit of Dijon and some maple syrup. So this is what tahini looks like. I get this at Trader Joe's. It's a really good value, and it's almost like a really thin, loose peanut butter. So to that, we're going to add just a little bit of Dijon and then a little bit of maple syrup. So a lot of these flavors, when I'm doing a menu like this, I like to bring in different ways. Like we had the fish sauce in the peanut sauce as well as the nuuk chum, and then like with the maple syrup, it's a nice way to sort of interweave, and so you taste something familiar but in a new way. And I think that's what keeps things really interesting. Okay, I want to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper, but now the secret is ice water. So that's going to help us create like that perfect dressing-like texture. Look at how it all of a sudden becomes milky and delicious. And then you're just going to give it a feel and keep adding it until it gets to be the consistency that is what you like. And for this today, I want to be able to just drizzle this on top of these delicious, flavorful, gluten-free and vegetarian lettuce wraps. Let's add just a little bit more. And then you could serve this if you're doing a party with all the fixings and then let people build their own. That would be really fun. Maybe we'll go ahead and do that. But in the meantime, I have some of the Sweet Baby Butter Leaf in the fridge just so it stays ice cold and keeps that great texture. Let's go ahead and open this. And my hands are the first to touch this. Thanks to Little Leaf's state-of-the-art technology. Everything is automated. How cool is that? Okay, let's see how we did before we serve it up officially for the family and let Max and Charlotte be the real judge. Look at that beautiful color. It's like the rainbow, and it makes me so happy. So you've got that shredded, bright vegetable base with all that citrus, the spicy chickpea roasted, and then a little drizzle of the tahini dressing on top, just to like bring it all together. All of That is awesome. Holy cow. It's like sweet, it's savory, it's spicy, it has a little smokiness to it, and it's delicate and lacy thanks to the butter leaf. Yum! Okay, let's whip this off. Let's bring this to the table. I'm gonna take a bite of this. Which one should I have? Maybe I'll take a bite of this little baby one before we really say goodbye. Guys, that was a really big bite. I had to chew in peace. This is so delicious. You guys eat the colors of the rainbow, get your veggies, have some fun. And thank you, Little Leaf, for letting us have the first bite here in the Chef's Pantry. I'll see you next week.